Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday yet again. I'm here with you, the beardless wonder, Adam. It's time for a Friday shop update. Before I get started shop updating with you, I'd like to give a nice little shout out to a young little girl whose birthday is today, Christian's daughter, Aria. I'm not exactly sure what age she's turning, but I hope she has a fantastic birthday and a fantastic weekend. I heard she got her ears pierced. I bet she looks great. I bet she's super excited. So, happy birthday. Give your dad all the trouble in the world, because that's what I do here, and I feel like he needs all the trouble given to him at home too. Anyway, after that lovely note, let's get to it. Let's start talking about some shop stuff, okay? We're going to do 3 cars we're going to talk about today. I know, 3, not 2, but 3. However, 2 of those cars are cars we've already, yeah, it's those 2. It's the Jaguar and the Triumph. Now, I'm not sick of them, so you shouldn't be either, okay? Let's get talking. This week was a tough one. Sometimes when you run a small business, and I don't do a lot of the running of the small business, Christian does a lot of that. But sometimes when you run a small business, you got to do small business stuff. And that's the stuff that nobody tells you about. This week was taken up with a lot of that. We had meetings with lawyers and brokers and financiers. But it's all good stuff because it's all for future, hopefully not too far future, but future endeavors. So I will tell you more about that when all of those people get together and we get together and we all get going the same way and the big thing happens. And then I'll tell you guys what the big thing is and that it happened. Anyway, let's get to these cars. So the first 3-ish days this week, we were doing the business stuff. Usually I'm not doing it. It's usually just Christian doing it. But this week I also had to participate, or so I was told. I don't think I needed to be there for most of it, but Christian's got this. He's been dealing with that stuff for months on end now, so he's more on board with what's going on than I am. Anyway, it also meant, because I also had to be a participant, that we didn't get as much work as we wanted to get done on these 2 fine automobiles this week. In fact, the old adage is 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's what the Jaguar did to us. You'll notice that the parcel shelf is out. The center console is out. There's good reasons. There's good reasons. Now, we replaced all of the original sound deadening in this car with Dynamat. Wonderful. It's great. It looks fantastic. It's installed beautifully. It's a good quality product. However, what originally was in here was a little bit different. What the original sound deadening was a little bit different. And because of that, as we started installing pieces, we noticed that there were gaps around things that wouldn't have originally been there. And we didn't like them. We didn't like the gaps. So we took everything back out. Well, I didn't. We took everything back out and figured out a game plan. So let me start you off. The original sound deadening material is this stuff. It is a rubber backing, okay? And if you've ever watched HGTV, This Old House, you ever done any home remodeling, you'll notice that the back of this looks an awful lot like carpet underlayment pad. And that's because that's what it is. This stuff is phenomenal for sound deadening and heat transfer. It's phenomenal for it. It keeps all the hot temperatures of the car out of the comfy cabin. It keeps all the bad noises just out of your earlobes. Okay? It's wonderful. However, this stuff holds water like it's nobody's business. They use the same material on Range Rover Classics. And I've done a lot of Range Rover Classics in my life. A lot of Land Rover Discoveries, a lot of Defenders. And I'll tell you this. You can have a Range Rover Classic that has spent its entire existence in a climate-controlled garage with a dehumidifier in there in the middle of Arizona. And for some odd reason, you'll get into that truck, you'll pull the carpet back, you'll get down to this sound deadening insulation stuff, and it'll be sopping wet. And I have no idea why that is. So it's really good at holding water, it's really good at stopping sound, and it's really good at stopping heat. But we don't want the holding water part. So we replaced that original stuff with Dynamat. Okay? To show you what it looks like when the original stuff is kind of just forced to live in water for so long. It looks like this. Gross. My favorite part of this panel, this came out of the Jaguar. My favorite part of this panel is this shiny black spot you see here is a piece of sound deadening that the stereo shop put over top of the sound deadening. A little overkill, guys. A little overkill. Anyway. We can't put this stuff back in. See it? I can't put that back in this car. It's garbage. So we installed Dynamat. But you can tell Dynamat's a little skinny. She's a little skinny. And that means we get gaps. And we don't want gaps, guys. We don't want gaps, okay? So we changed things up. We added an extra layer. The layer that we added is actually a heat insulation pad that we use on some cars that come in here. It'll help out the sound deadener, and it'll help out with some heat issues, even though Dynamat does pretty good with heat as well. It's also thicker. It's this stuff. Yeah, it's thicker, right? Good stuff. It comes in sheets. Both products have a sticky back on them. Real simple stuff. Not crazy difficult to install. Good quality. Works great. The best thing about this heat insulation is it's made out of foam. However, different from the foam that we originally pulled out. This is a closed cell foam, which means I can pour water all over that foam piece and it will never hold a drop of it. So we've beaten back our water issue, or water retention issue. And we're starting to fill those gaps up. But it takes time. We got to peel all that carpet. That carpet has already been peeled back. The new foam has been put underneath. It's good to go. We're ready to start putting stuff back in there again. While Christian was waiting for kind of glue to dry and looking for some other things to tackle on the car, as we were both very angry, he made up the panel that covers this part of the trunk. It's right there. He did a good job of it. It's right. It's in this general vicinity. Okay? It's here. And he made that. And it's looking good. So, one step forward, two steps back. I'm just like a cat. I think that's how the song goes, right? Is that Paula Abdul, right? Anyway. Triumph time! Yay. I've had some fun with this week. It was a bit of a butt, let's be honest. Sometimes cars they hurt your head, okay? And this one was hurting my head this week. You'll notice that there's a red strap inside the car. You'll notice that my door gap, which is right, let's get my finger to work, shall we? Let's get the finger to work. Door gap is right there. It's actually looking a lot better, isn't it? That door gap's looking phenomenal. It's almost right. Good for me. Anyway, I had some more rust I needed to cut out of the front of this car, and it is located right in this region here. There's a whole section that I cut out here, and the toe board up front there has also been cut out. Now that stuff got cut out, and what I noticed was my gap on my door got bigger. That's not good. We don't want the gaps to get bigger. They're already too big on this side. So doing a little brainstorming, doing a little looking, doing a little pulling, tugging, tweaking, shifting, moving. What had happened was this cowl section and this footbox section are basically holding on to the rest of the car by a little tiny piece back in here. And so all of this went when I cut out the structure up here. Not good. So we think about it. How do I get this to be right? How do I get this to be in the right place? And how do I make that all happen uniformly and together? A ratchet strap. This is one of the gifts of our world. A ratchet strap. Now it's as tight as a piano string, okay? It is holding a lot of pressure, but it's holding it in the right spot now. And now we've resolved a bunch of problems like that. And I can put the structure back in the front here. And when I take that strap off, if everything works as it should, I won't get weird gaps again. I won't get weird placements. I won't get wonky looking stuff. And we'll be good to go. It was a problem that was in the back of my head. I'm like, why is all this stuff just not in the right spot? This doesn't make... I took this car apart and all these things were in the right spot and now they're not. I don't get it. Help me. So, a little brainstorming and we figured it out. We're good. The door gaps have gotten a lot better. Gotten a lot better. The back gap here is way better than it used to be. And of course, this cowl gap has shrunk up nicely. I'm happy. I'm very happy. This is good stuff. Anyway, I told you we were going to talk about 3 cars today. There's the third one. We have a new car in the shop. And she's a beaut, guys. She's a beaut. Now, this may not be everybody's cup of tea. And if you want to put your nose in the air because of what it is, get off my channel. I don't want you around here, okay? I like this car. More importantly, the young lady who owns it, well, she likes it. And that's all that matters. So let's go take a peek, shall we? Let's go a little rundown on it. Little diagnosis. Let's get the old eyeballs on it. I'm starting to sound like the guy from Vice Grip Garage, and I don't like it. Or I do. Anyway, there she is. I believe she does have a name. The owner, I believe, has given her a name. I apologize. I do not know it off the top of my head. But she's gorgeous. This is a Austin Healey 3000 replica, okay? It's replica. Don't call it a kit car. I know it came in kit form. Replica. This is someone's homage to the Austin Healey because Austin Healey's are way too much money, okay? They've always been too much money. And that's the end of it, all right? This is everything you want in an Austin Healey, and then all the things you didn't know you wanted in an Austin Healey in one package. It's perfect. It's perfect, okay? Now, she's in here for a few things. She gave us a list, the owner gave us a list, which is nice. I like lists. That helps me know what to do. Because if I was just taking a stab at it, I don't know what she wants. So she gave us a list, and we can tackle, I'd say, the whole thing. Not going to be a big deal. On that list, the top priority is, with anybody who owns one of these cars, she wants to drive it, okay? So we got to fix a little issue with some transmission fluid. It has an automatic, and that's cool. We got to fix the transmission leak issue. I'm hoping it's a pan gasket or a transmission cooler line. It should be super simple, super straightforward. Parts are readily available at the local parts store. Another benefit to one of these, you Austin Healey owners, you got to order your stuff. It's got to wait a week for it to get to you. I just run up to Napa and buy most of the parts for this thing. Transmission leak, got to fix that. I think there was something on the engine. I don't have the list in my hand right now. I know there's an air cleaner that needs to go on the engine. I don't know that there was any running issues. Don't quote me on that. The hood needs adjustment because it's very difficult to open, or doesn't open sometimes, just at all. She has some badges for us. That's right. What kind of Healey would this be if it didn't have the Austin Healey badge right there above the grill or on the back boot lid? Okay. She's got some grill badges for us. I like those too. One of them is actually a pretty cool grill badge. I believe she wants us to do some stuff in the top. Now, let's get in on it and talk about this top a little bit. Why would you want to do something to the top? Number one, this car does not have a convertible top, okay? Now, it's fiberglass. It's loud. You get into a light rainstorm, and that top probably sounds like somebody's beating in your roof with a hammer, okay? I know this from fact. I've experienced it. I've driven cars with hardtops. They're loud as all get out inside of those things. So, there's a couple of things that we're going to do for her that are going to help her out with that. She asked for a headliner. Headliner is one step forward. We want to do a little bit better than that. We're going to put a little sound deadening in that sucker too. Not too much. I don't want it to weigh 8,000 pounds, so we're not putting real heavy stuff in. But just enough sound deadening to kind of kill the vibrational tinny sound that those fiberglass tops tend to make. And then we'll also put some nice fancy headliner in it. It's all pretty straightforward, all pretty easy for us to do. It'll also need the back window put in, which I'm assuming is also on that list. Again, I don't have that list in my hand, but I'm assuming it's there. Back window, I'm sure that's a thing that's needed. Now look at this, look at this. Okay, this impressed me, all right? Look at this boot lid. Now, if you were in person, you were here. This boot lid is identical to an Austin Healey boot lid. I mean, it's marvelous, guys. It really is marvelous. I'm not being facetious here. I'm legit. Like that boot lid is identical. I'm impressed with this. There's two badges that go on the back here, the 3000 badge and the Austin Healey badge that go back here. We'll get those guys on the boot lid. Yeah, we're going to have to drill holes in your car. If you're watching, we're going to have to drill holes in your car. I won't videotape it, okay? You won't have to see your old girl go through some pain, all right? But she's going to look a right treat when she's all done. Anyway, we'll get to that next week. And we'll address anything else that's on our list. I think she had speakers on there. Yeah, speakers. It's got some, Best Buy specials from 1994 in there, and they don't look very good. So I think she wants us to either hide those suckers or maybe just make them look a little nicer. We can put different grills over top of them. We got options. It's not our first rodeo. We've got options. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I got for this Friday. It's been phenomenal having you here. I hope that you have a lovely weekend and week. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye.